Hello, this is Donna DeRozier with RPK Group. Welcome to this short webinar on the Student Success Initiative Financial Model, or ROI tool, developed as part of the overall Return on Investment Toolkit for EDUCAUSE. This Excel-based tool allows colleges to analyze the expenditures and funding necessary to support a new or re-envisioned student success initiative on their campus. It also allows colleges to estimate the new revenue that can be generated when more students are retained or when average student credit hour load increases. There are two versions of this tool available. One is blank for you to use, and there's a second version populated with sample data, which is what we'll be walking through today. So when you open up the template, the Getting Started tab provides a general overview for using the template. First, you would select a student success initiative that is expected to impact currently enrolled students, particularly around retention and student credit hour load. The template was not designed to capture the impact of programs aimed at enrolling new students, such as by adding a new academic program or a new campus. So the initiative selected should focus on the success of existing students. These next three tabs are the Dashboard and ROI Estimation tabs. And to begin data entry, we want to move down here to the yellow tabs. And first, starting with the Data Entry Instruction tab. And this tab provides detailed information on the information that should be reported on each of the 5 yellow data tabs. It also includes instructions at the bottom on populating the ROI tab and interpreting the dashboard. To begin, we turn to the yellow tabs to enter data. And throughout the template, the red cells indicate where data should be entered. So beginning first with this institution-wide data tab, you would enter typical information for your institution, including student credit hours, retention rates, tuition and fees, as well as some expenditure-related information such as personnel benefit rates, overhead or indirect cost rates, total spending for the institution, as well as some faculty information. So the information entered on this tab can be used for whatever initiative you decide to model. It doesn't have to be repopulated each time you decide to model a new initiative. So this can be used to model multiple initiatives at your college. The next 4 yellow tabs are actually specific to the initiative that you have selected to model. So starting with tab 2A, you would enter information on enrollment. And starting with information on the number of students that you expect to have access to the initiative on row 29, and then on row 31, indicating the number of students who you actually expect will utilize or enroll in the particular initiative that you have selected. So year 0 is the base year or planning year for the initiative before any students are enrolled. And year 1 is the first year that students would have access or be able to utilize the selected initiative. The next tab, 2B, is where you would enter information on the different sources of funding that may be available for the initiative that you have selected. And the last 2 yellow tabs are where the information on expenses for the initiative would be reported. On tab 2C, you would enter information on personnel expenses. On the top portion of this tab is where information on existing personnel, their position title, their average annual salary, and the percent of time each year that they are expected to work on the initiative would be recorded. On the bottom portion of this tab, you would enter similar information for any new hires for the project. And this just allows you to indicate which year you would expect they would begin working on it. And the final data entry tab, 2D, is where information on operating expenses would be recorded. And you can see there are a number of different categories here. And since this tool was intended to work for a variety of different initiatives, you would just select the categories that are relevant to your particular initiative and enter information into those categories. So once you have entered all the information on the yellow tabs, you will have entered everything for the funding and expense portion of the template. Next, we'll move to the ROI portion of the template, which is the black tab. And in this tab, you would add information on the metrics and how you expect them to change depending on how the initiative may impact them. So for here for annual retention rate, again in the red cells, you would enter information on how you expect retention rates to change because of the initiative. And then for average student credit hour load, how you would expect that to change because of the initiative. And those are graphed on the line graphs. The projected net revenue from these changes are shown on this graph, with the dark green bar showing the projected net revenue from the change in student credit hours, and the light green portion of the graph showing the projected net revenue from the change in retention. There are also 2 additional efficiency improvement estimates at the bottom of this tab. These don't necessarily generate new revenue, but they may be applicable depending on the type of initiative that you selected to model. Once all that data is entered, you can turn to the red dashboard output tabs. On the graphics tabs, you can see that the top part shows a number of graphs related to the revenue and expense information that was entered in the yellow tabs in the template. On the bottom part, there are several more graphs that relate to the ROI or the net revenue that's projected to be generated. If you prefer to access the data behind these graphs, that's available on the Dashboard Data tab in table format. So that's a brief overview of the EDUCAUSE ROI tool. Again, to begin using the template, you can access the information in the Getting Started and the Data Entry Instruction tabs in this template. We hope this information, as well as the other resources in the EDUCAUSE Toolkit, will help you and your college when considering what types of student success initiatives you would like to invest in. Thank you.